Good evening, everyone. I'm NOZAKI. I'm 11 years old. I introduce traditional Japanese children's activities for all of you. There are a lot of unique activities in Japan, especially karuta. When people play karuta, people use two kinds of cards, which are reading card and picture card. There are 100人一首カルタ and いろはカルタ in general. There is contest of 100人一首カルタ. 100人一首カルタ is typical and traditional Japanese card game. Next, there are a lot of characteristics in karuta. First, we learn from karuta. For example, proverbs and memorization. Karuta only enjoy playing, but also it is one of the education. Second, there is a history of karuta. Karuta section had been made in Meiji period, and we held karuta contest in Tokyo. Karuta contest became very popular because Karuta's comic book Chaya Furu become on the movie. Next, I introduce about classic Iroha Karuta. Iroha Karuta correspond of Iroha poem, and it use proverbs and proverbs is different of each area. For example, if the dog barks, it hit a stick. In Japanese, 犬も歩けば棒に当たる. In Tokyo, lesson 1 and no 10 in Japanese, 1を聞いて10を知る. In Osaka, one step is a darkness. In Japanese, 一寸先闇の夜. In Kyoto. Next, incidentally, Karuta's origin is matching share games, which is 貝合わせ. Japanese 貝合わせ and European card game is combined and made karuta in Genroku period. And I introduce rule of karuta. First, display all card. Second, reciter read a reading card. Third, people get card who reciter read. The game is continued by the no card, and the people who get a most card are winner. I'm not interested in karuta before, and I usually play card at school, but now I know karuta's history, so I'm interested in karuta very much, and I would like to play karuta at school. That's all. Thank you for listening.
I'm NOZAKI. I'm going to introduce Hinamatsuri.
It is Hinamatsuri on March 3rd. People celebrate the health and happiness for the girls. Most families with girls display Hinados, which is called Hinaningyo in Hinamatsuri. A set of Hinados include Odairi-sama, Ohina-sama, Sannin Kanjo, Gonin Barashi, Sadaijin, Udaijin, and Sannin Jogo. Odairi-sama represents a future husband, and Ohina-sama represents a future oneself of the girls. Sannin Kanjo is 3 girls who attended a Ohina-sama. Gonin Barashi is 5 boys who are playing the Nogaku. Sadaijin is the prime minister, and Udaijin is helps the Sadaijin. Sannin Jogo is 3 boys who do the chores, and there are three facial experiences: laughing Jogo, crying Jogo, and angry Jogo. It is said that Hinados take away the bad luck of the girls. People put away Hinados as soon as Hinamatsuri is over. For the days, people display the big Hinados, but Japanese house is not big, so recently people display 1 step of Hinados or 3 steps of Hinados. And we display Hinados, Ishimochi, Shirozake, and peach blossom together. We eat chirashi, clam soup, and hina-rice crackers. There are many ingredients in chirashi because we do not have to worry about food. Clam means that we can find a good partner because clam might only same choice. Hina-rice cracker is 4 colors. Green is spring, red is summer, yellow is autumn, and white is winter. I like Hinamatsuri food because it is cute and colorful. I have 3 steps of Hinados in my house. It is pink and cute, so I like it. I'm going to continue to display Hinados in the future too. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, my name is Shion Ito. I'm 14 years old. I'm a member of Track and Field Club. My favorite TV performer is Gakuto. My presentation is about Japanese traditional festival. I'm going to introduce about 5 festivals. First, this is Gion Matsuri. In 864, this festival started to suppress an epidemic. This festival holds in Yamahoko and Yasaka Shrine. Yamahoko is more famous than Yasaka Shrine. Until the Meiji era, this festival was called Gion Goryoe. Second, this is Akita Kanto Matsuri. In 1751, this festival started as an event of getting rid of sleepiness. This festival is called Neburi Nagashi and Nemuri Nagashi. This festival designated as an important intangible folk cultural property. There are 5 skills of Kanto. They are Nagashi, Hirate, Tai, Kata, and Koshi. Third, this is Awaodori. In 1586, Hachisuka Iemasa told to people that you can dance freely, and it is a reason of Awaodori's origin. There are many kinds of dance. They are Amami no Yaemasa no Rokuchou, Okinawa no Kachashi, 九州のハイヤ節 and 広島の安さ節. These four dances are called 黒潮文化のリズム. Fourth, this is 裸祭り. The real name of this festival is Naui Ritual. In 767, Shotoku Emperor commanded prayer for evil spirit dispersal for all Kokubunji. This festival to touch a god man led by a 47-year-old and 25-year-old man. At this festival, about 4 tons of rice cake called Okagami Mochi is dedicated. At the end of this festival, the rice cakes are distributed to people and they eat it and wish for good health. Preface, this is Setomono Matsuri. In 1915, this Kamikichi Kato started creating a festival to thank God for completion of Seto Sometsukiyaki, but the original purpose is to sell the stocks of ceramics to save Seto in the pandemic. This festival started to be called Setomono Matsuri from 1932. As you can see, there are many festivals in Japan. I wanted to find out more about festivals. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Miss Mekawa. I'm 14 years old. My favorite sport is volleyball. They are a popular traditional Japanese play. I'm introducing origami and cup and ball. First, I'm going to speak about origami. Origami that everyone has heard at least once. It's one of the historical unique play. The beginning of was Japanese paper, the origin of Japanese paper, which is washi, is set around 5th to 6th centuries. At that time, wrapping a gift beautifully came into fashion. The wrapping is beginning of origami. I'm going to speak about attraction of origami. First, we can play it with a sheet of paper. Between older people to small children can enjoy playing it because they just hold the paper. Second, we train our brains. Third, it becomes a communication tool with parents and children or foreigners. It's very interesting for foreigners, so it's catalyst for talking. Therefore, there are origami groups all over the world, and it's very popular abroad now. Second, I'm going to speak about cup and ball, which is kendama. It's one of the traditional Japanese play. It came to Japan during a period. It has 3 cups, 1 sword tip, and 1 ball. It's a unique shape. The basic play is put the ball upward and attempt to catch it in 3 cups or 1 sword tip. It's also enjoyed as a sport. It decides the victory or defeat, the number of catching a ball. And there is held national competitions all over the world. I'm going to speak about attraction of kendama. First, it's very beautiful because it's made by wood. Second, people's posture improves and it has diet effect because they play it with their whole body. Third, they build up their concentration. Fourth, they can take measure for the mentor because they play it with their hands. It's very popular abroad now. It's also very popular in abroad now. The traditional Japanese play, such as origami and cup and ball, have not just fun, also many attractions. I hope that it's a good opportunity to get to know Japan through this game. Why don't you play with them? Thank you very much.
I'm Sana Amano. I'm third grade of junior high school. My hobby is playing basketball. I'm going to introduce Japanese traditional play. What do you come to mind immediately when you hear the phrase Japanese traditional play? For example, top spinning, kite flying, fukuwarai, and so on. I'm going to introduce Hyakni issue. Hyakni issue is a traditional Japanese collection of 100 poems by 100 poets. All poems are written by the Japanese classical tanka style. A tanka has a 31-syllable verse from with 5 lines in 5-7-5-7-7 pattern. The first half of a tanka poem is called kaminoku in Japanese, and the second half of a tanka poem is called shimonoku in Japanese. There are two kinds of cards, which were 100 leading cards with a finger of people, their name and poem on each card. We call it yomifuda in Japanese. And 100 grabbing cards with lower phrase of poem. We call it torifuda in Japanese. There are 100 cards each card. Hyakni issue generally refers to the poetry anthology entitled Ogura Hyakni issue. That the poet Fujiwara Teika compiled by choosing tanka for each one of 100 outstanding poets from the collection of waka poems such as Konkinshu, Shinkonkishu, and so on. Ogura Hyakni issue is called that Fujiwara Teika copied it on the floating screen of the second house in Kyoto's Ogura Mountain. It was finished on May 27th in 1235. Therefore, on May 27th is called Hyakni issue day. All poets express thought, love, nature, and season with a beautiful refinement. There were 43 love poems, and 4 is written the most of 4 seasons. Next, I'm going to explain how to play. First, mix up on the deck of torifuda and lay them out on the floor. Second, when the leader starts reading the card, player take corresponding torifuda as fast as possible. When a card is taken, the leader is moved onto the next worker. When all cards are taken, the player who takes the most cards is winner. Next, I'm going to explain the history of Hyakni issue. The origin of Hyakni issue is kai awase, which was played in Heian period. People look for the matching shell of the crown. From time of Edo period, it became as popular with tanka card, and then Hyakni issue became a new event through the imperial court and the Japanese feudal law. The Hyakni issue is 100人一首 favorite meal are 5-color 100人一首、チラシ通り、坊主めくり and so on. In 2016, the movie of Childhood, which was a long 100人一首, was released. Especially the most popular phrase is Childhood. 神をも聞かず竜田川からくれないに水くことは This is love phrase. It is written about love as wonderful flowing autumn leaves in river Tatsuta. It was very lovely. Therefore, 100人一首 is describing different scenes in 31 characters. I think we can feel close to each scene in 100人一首. I would like to pass down to traditional 100人一首 to the future generation. Thank you for listening.
Hello, I'm Mahito. I'm 12 years old. The spirit of Japanese manners has been passed down since old days. I'm going to introduce traditional manners. The first is taking off shoes in the house. Japan has a culture that people have to take off shoes when they enter their house at the front doors. Due to the hot and humid climate in Japan, we don't wear shoes in the house. If people enter the house with their shoes on, floor will be damaged. However, it is considered rude to take off shoes in public in Europe. In fact, there is no entrance which is genkan in Europe, so they take off shoes in bedroom. The second is Japanese culture. Japanese bow firmly and put their hands together when they play whist. The first document of manners in Japan was written Article 17 Constitution by Prince Shotok. It was written about attitude and manners for the aristocracy. This leads to the basic manners and we do today. The third is about public manners. Japanese polite manners are recognized by all over the world, such as homaline, no litter, and no talk loudly. One of the reasons why Japanese manners are politeness is that there is a culture which people concern with others. As a result, keeping polite manners do not bother with others. I hope that Japanese polite manners will spread to the world, and I would like to emulate spirit of courtesy from everyone and live day by day. Thank you for listening.
Good evening. My name is Kazuki Fukihara. My hobby is riding on a bicycle. Today, I'd like to introduce about Japanese culture to all of you. Please listen to my presentation. First, I would like to explain about food culture. Osechi and sushi are famous. We eat osechi for the new year. There are many wishes in osechi. For example, Kazunoko means descendants prosperity. Shrimp means long life.
Sushi is often eaten at celebrations. There are many kinds of sushi, such as nigiri, maki, and chirashi. Then we use a lot of fresh seafood. In the old days, people didn't eat fresh seafood, but they used a lot of fermented or cooked seafood instead. In the Edo period, people eat sushi at sushi stores. Next, I am going to introduce about cultural event. One of the famous events is Obon. The Obon is held from August 13th to 16th. At the Obon, we do Mukaibi, Okuribi, Bondana, and Bonodori. We display some fruits, flowers, cucumbers, and eggplants on Bondana. Then we welcome our ancestors. They come home quickly to light cucumber's house, and they return slowly to light eggplant's car. Finally, I am going to introduce about clothing culture. Kimono and yukata are traditional Japanese clothing culture. We wear kimono at turning point of our life. For example, the New Year, coming of age ceremony, and wedding ceremony. We wear yukata at Japanese-style hotel and some festivals. At Japanese-style hotel, we wear it when we go to bed or after take a bath. At the festival, we wear it as an outing clothes on a hot day. I'm interested in osechi because there are many meanings. From now on, I want to understand and eat them with wishing for the health and happiness for my family. At the Obon, I didn't know that ancestors liked cucumbers and eggplants. So I definitely set them on Bondana. When I was 5 years old, I wore kimono at Shichigo-san. I like kimono because kimono gives me courage. I want to know about Japanese culture more and more. That's all. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Homare Maegawa. I'm 13 years old. I like to play baseball. I'm introducing Japanese culture, which is Japanese New Year's cuisine. First, Bumaki. It is good luck talisman for a long time because happy by play on words. Next, shrimp. It means perpetual youth and longevity because when we boil it, the back of shrimp becomes bent. Next, Katsunoko in Japanese. It means prospering of offspring because there are many eggs. Next, lotus root, renkon in Japanese. It means focus future and we will know the next year because there are many fruits. Next, rolled omelette, datemaki in Japanese. It looks appearance. Also, include wisdom because similar to scroll of book. Next, red and white steamed fish paste. Kohaku kamaboko in Japanese. Red means talisman and white means clean. Next, kukinton. It means accumulate money, image of over. Next, black bean. It is works diligently by play on work. Last, tatsukuri. It meaning wishing for good harvest because 13 were high class fertilizer in the field in the old days. As you can see, osechi has a lot of good meaning. Also, osechi has another meaning. mother can take a rest. Next, I am introducing straw rope. Here is the history of the straw rope. All days, Tensho Daijin was god of sun. Tensho Daijin was angry because Tensho Daijin's brother played trick, so Tensho Daijin hid a rock. People had trouble. They danced for Tensho Daijin go out the rock. People tied the rope with a straw rope. Decorate straw rope near the god, so it shows boundary between god and us. Decorate two straw rope at house is to welcome New Year's god. Therefore, we usually decorate straw rope front of door because the god come into the house easily. We generally decorate straw rope December 28th. December 29th is no good because bad luck. Also, December 31st is no good because we decorate only one day. I think people eat osechi every year because mothers can take a rest. And I want to decorate straw rope at house for welcome New Year's god every year. Thank you for listening.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you to listening my presentation. My name is Aoi Sugiyama. I'm a second grader at high school. My hobby is drawing picture and watching the cartoon. Recently, I watched Tom and Jerry. It was so fun. And I like to eat the Japanese food. Anyway, do you know the most famous Japanese food? There are many Japanese food in Japan, like tempura, sukiyaki, gyudon, and so on. But the almost people will answer like this. It is sushi. So I'm going to talk about manners when eating sushi. There are many sushi bars all over the world. And in Japan, there are many sushi bars with only 100 yen. The family can go to there, include the kids or elderly people. The more cheaper because it is 100 yen. So, this is first manner. How to add soy sauce to sushi? Look at this picture. Is this a good manner? The answer is no, because the rice is plenty in the soy sauce. So we can't taste the sushi's taste because they're almost the soy sauce taste. So please upside down the sushi and put the soy sauce to the sashimi. This is a good manner, and we can wash the sushi beautifully. And if you want to put the soy sauce to gunkan maki, don't put the plenty of soy sauce. This is the same bad manner. And please put the soy sauce to gari, and put the soy sauce with gari to the gunkan maki. It looks beautiful when you do it. And you can use the chopsticks or hand by eating sushi. Both of them are okay. Next, when you eat sushi, please eat sushi by one bite. Then you can feel the natural sushi's taste. And if you want to add the wasabi to the sushi, don't put the wasabi to the soy sauce. This looks bad. So you should put the top of sushi to the wasabi and add the soy sauce. This is how to eat beautiful to sushi. And you should eat sushi at bland of taste to strong taste. Bland taste sushi is sibling. In Japanese, this is tai, and squid. In Japanese, this is ika. And strong taste is ikura, tuna, salmon, and so on. Why we should eat bland taste to strong taste? Because the sushi is delicate food. So if you eat the strong taste first, you can't feel the bland taste. So please eat this way. If you order the sushi with omakase, you should eat the sushi the upper left to the natural way. So this is way to bland taste to strong taste. And this is the last manner, and this is most important. Watch out for the smell. If you eat sushi, don't smoke or wear perfume before eating sushi, because you can't feel the sushi's taste because of the smell. Their smells like perfume or smoke. So you should eat sushi more deliciously, so don't do that. The manner is so important, not especially sushi's manner. So you can search about manners all over the world by the internet on the website. So if you have free time, please search it and take a good manner. Thank you for listening.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Momoko Fuma. I'm going to explain about kimono. Because kimono is used Japanese important events, and it is gorgeous costume and very beautiful. So I was mesmerized when I was a child. I'm going to explain about kimono with Japanese events. First, Japanese take their baby to a shrine when their baby is 30 days old. In Japanese, it is omiyamairi. Then, baby put on this kimono. In case of girls, they put on splendid plenty silk on white kimono. In case of boy, they put on black crested kimono on white kimono. Second, it is characteristic of 753 festivals. In case of 3 years girls, they put on girls' coat worn over kimono. Because putting obi is uncomfortable for them, so they tie cord for the hips, and they have to put it out of sight. In case of 5 years boys, they put on haori and hakama in the shape of man. In case of 7 years girl, they fasten undergirdle and tissue holder. In this way, there are many kinds of design and very cute. Third, it is characteristic of coming of age ceremony. In case of lady, they put on long-sleeved kimono. And meaning is depending on color and the design. In case of red, blue, black, white are sacred color. In case of purple is noble and mystical color. Also, plain is meaning long life, and it's called birds that carry a lot of happiness. In this way, these are very interesting, and kimono makes each person's precious memory more gorgeous. So I hope that kimono is protected from now on. Thank you for listening.
Good evening. I'm Tayo Amano. I'm 12 years old. I'm going to introduce Japanese culture. The typical Japanese culture is Japanese New Year's cuisine. It is New Year's food now, but Japanese New Year's cuisine was made on seasonal festival in fact. Japanese New Year's cuisine, which is osechi, was started making at Kyushu event, which called osechiku in Heian period. Long ago, there are Kyushu events 5 times a year, but today people eat Japanese New Year's cuisine only New Year's Day. Even dish has special meaning. The clicking tone is gold, which means a golden property, and it is well scanning lucky charm. The sweet, which is datemaki, is one of the dishes used to improve knowledge. The black beans are eaten to encourage the work and academic achievement. The Kaznoko is eaten to pray for the prosperity of descendants. The shrimp. When we boil the shrimp, the shape of shrimp is like an old one, so people eat them to pray for longevity. The bird dog, the root symbol stability, and the spirits end of the ace are supposed to multiply good fortune. The renkon is regarded as lucky vegetable because it has a lot of holes which symbol the ace of looking through to the future. The number of people who eat Japanese New Year's cuisine is increasing, but by introducing osechi, I hope the number of people who eat Japanese New Year's cuisine will increasing. Moreover, I hope the world of people all over the world eat Japanese New Year's cuisine in the future. When I run through meaning, I should inherit good generations. I want to make Japanese New Year's cuisine on next New Year's Day. Thank you for listening.